Welcome to another edition of Pinfalls. Today I got a very special guest. We're talking about Extreme Rules, so who better to have for Extreme Rules than the Extreme Entertainer from Chicago, Joey Roth.
I think I should be known as the Extreme Idol for this one right here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about the show.
You're my guest, man. Whatever title you want, I'll give you. The Extreme Idol, Joey Roth.
The extreme symbol, of course, me and Roxy Hart are now known as the symbols of wrestling, which kind of upset a lot of people because, I don't think a lot of people thought of using that name. But hey, it's mine now.
Well, geez, man, everything you do upsets people, so just keep doing it, man. That's all I can say.
Well, just as long as I don't upset people with my predictions for this pay-per-view, but what happens? I'm really looking forward to this one. I always liked Extreme Rules because I like all the kind of different kinds of things they could do. So I'm really looking forward to this pay-per-view on Sunday. So definitely going to be watching.
Well, as you said, it is Sunday. We're recording this on Thursday, well ahead of the pay-per-view, so our predictions are legit. Let's kick it right off, man. We're going to start with the Universal Championship. We got the champ Roman Reigns defending against the Demon, Finn Balor. Your call, sir?
I like the Demon character. I like the Demon gimmick, but there's no way in heck Roman Reigns is going to lose this match. He's already booked. He's already penciled in to wrestle Brock at Saudi Arabia, and I think this is just going to be a total massacre. Roman Reigns in record time is going to take care of the Demon. He's going to go ahead and snuff the Demon out, and which I feel bad for Finn because he's a great talent and everything like that. But there's no way in heck that Roman Reigns is ever going to lose this match, man. There's way too much money. And that's Roman Reigns.
Well, I do agree with you partly. I think Roman Reigns is going to win this, but I think it's going to go a little bit longer, and I think we're going to see maybe a little Brock Lesnar interference, maybe taking out Finn Balor to kind of keep his strength going, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
That's my call. All right, so we agree on the first. Let's hit to the second then. We got the United States Championship. We got Damian Priest, the champ, defending against Jeff Hardy, the charismatic enigma, and Sheamus, the Celtic Warrior.
I personally think it's Sheamus all the way. Jeff Hardy's on his way out. I know he wants to have his Willow character appear in WWE, which I don't think is going to happen because Vince didn't come up with it. I think once Jeff runs out his contract and goes somewhere else, I think then we're going to see it. Damian Priest, I think, is just a total flop. The guy has absolutely no charisma as far as I've seen. He gets no pop when he comes out. I mean, he looks like $1 million, but I think it's way too early to have him called up. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go with Sheamus. I'm digging the whole entire Irish bully gimmick, the way he's looking with the broken nose thing and everything like that. I'm going with Sheamus on this one.
Well, I'll agree halfway with you again. I agree with everything you said about Damian Priest, except I think he's still going to retain because I think Sheamus has to chase him a little bit more. Jeff Hardy's not going to win it. I ruled him out. I think Sheamus has to chase him just maybe one more pay-per-view, maybe extend it a little bit. But Damian's going to walk away with holding the title this time.
He needs to impress me just a little bit more. So far, like I said, $1 million body, 10 cent, everything else. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going with Sheamus on this one. His promos when he's doing commentary and everything like that is just gold. I think he's just doing. I think he finally hit a stride after being there for how many years?
I do agree with you. I just think he's walking away without the gold this time. Right. I think he will get it future though. So the next one we got the Smackdown Tag Team Championship. We got the Usos champion versus the Street Profits.
I'm going with Usos again with the whole the whole entire Roman Reigns thing, the head of the table, the dynasty is not ready to crumble. I honestly do think it's time to break up the Street Profits. I think Montez Ford is 1,000% above what's his partner's name, Dawkins or whatever. I mean, It's so bad that I don't even remember his partner's name. I think Montez Ford has so much charisma that he needs to be a singles guy. The Street Profits, the whole entire smoke thing, maybe I'm too old, I don't get it. The whole Red Solo Cup thing, fine, whatever. But I think Montez Ford needs to drop the dead weight. He needs to be the Mycos, and Dawkins is definitely the Jannetty. So I'm thinking the Usos are going to go over on this one, and I think there's going to be a little bit of rift between the Street Profits as soon as that match is over. I think a heel Ford would be a bad guy. Montez Ford would be tremendous. But, you know, maybe with his wife, they could do some kind of a power couple thing to go against Seth and Becky, which we'll get to a little bit later. But I'm definitely going to go with the Usos. I mean, the whole entire first family or whatever they're doing right now, the whole bloodline thing, you're not going to slow that down. And there's no way the Profits are going to win this match.
Well, I agree with you 100%, and I'll even give you this. I didn't even think of the power couple. That's interesting. I didn't think of that, but otherwise I agree with you 100%. The Usos are not going to lose. They're certainly not going to lose to the Street Profits. I do think the Street Profits are due for a breakup. Maybe on this one. If not, then very soon.
Eventually, mark my words, they're going to break up. And Montez Ford, I think that guy right there is a future main eventer. Nothing against Dawkins or anything like that. But I just don't feel it from him. I feel like he's like Christian the Edge. He's just a tag along who's there for the ride. Ford's the quarterback. Dawkins is the quarterback's brother who hands out the towels. And I'm sorry, I think Ford has a lot of upswing. He's such. I like watching him.
I do agree. All right, now we're going to hit since we are recording this for Global Women's Sports Radio. I should have said that up front, but hey, better late than never. Let's
awesome people.
That's the women's matches. First, we got Liv Morgan versus Carmella in a match that I'm not even sure how it came to be, but it's here.
Well, what do you think of this one? Let's have you go first.
Well, you know, I'm not even sure why they're wrestling. I think it's just kind of filler. It's cool though to see 3 women's matches on the card. I think that's fantastic. I do think Liv Morgan has more to lose if she loses the match. So I'm giving it to her. I don't think it's going to matter much to Carmella either way if she wins or loses. So I'm going with Liv Morgan. I got to say, though, I don't really care much for this match other than the fact, as I said, it's cool to have 3 of the 6 matches are women's.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, but I'm going Carmella on this one. Liv Morgan has such potential. I mean, they were doing this whole remember when she came out all dressed up in gowns? She did the whole Eva thing before Eva came back and everything like that, but they totally scrapped it. Liv Morgan is one of the most underused women in the whole entire roster. I mean, she has a great look. She's funny. I mean, I think she would be a really good sympathetic babyface in this whole entire thing. They're really missing the boat on her, so that's why I think Carmella's, gonna walk away with it if Corey Graves has anything to say about it.
So you're thinking this is the feud going to continue, or is this a one-off?
I think this is going to be a one-off, and I think eventually Liv is going to be jobbed out, and I would not be surprised before the end of the year that she's somewhere else with a former tag team partner of hers.
So you think she might be future endeavored?
I think she's going to be future endeavored, which is sad for her. But I think her future is going to be a lot brighter somewhere else. I mean, of course, AEW. I mean, come on, Ruby just showed up over there. I think they're going to redo the Riot Squad over there, and because they desperately need a good women's division, and Liv is squandering in WWE. They're just not giving her the potential that she could do. I mean, she's awesome, and nothing away from Carmella or anything like that. But Carmella's just so robotic and everything like that. I mean, Liv has so much potential. Yeah, it's just untapped, and I think eventually it's going to be over and done with for her, which I think is going to work out for her in the long run. So yes, Carmella's going to go over.
In the previous episode, I had predicted that Charlotte Flair would eventually be going to AEW, and I was mocked because I said it would happen sometime in 2022, and my partner at that time, Tommy, laughed at me and said, "Well, predicted so far in the future, it's a year away." So
right.
I can't say she's going to be there March 3rd, but I think she's going to end up in AEW as well. So.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that when we talk about that match. So there's probably some reasons why she's not going to get there just yet, but I totally agree with you on that. But let's go right into it. Might as well go right into it since we're talking about Charlotte.
The Raw Women's Championship, we got Charlotte Flair defending against Alexa Bliss and Lily.
I personally think, first off, can we even say Charlotte's last name nowadays? I don't think we can use. I think eventually Charlotte's going to drop half that name because of all the controversy that's going on right now. And Alexa, I've always been a big Alexa Bliss fan. Roxy Hart's a big Alexa fan, and I'm not really too keen on this whole entire Bray Wyatt ripoff stuff that she's doing. But I do believe. I mean, I like the look, but it just it just came out of nowhere. Okay. But with that being said, I do think Alexa's going to walk out with the belt because they do need to make little belts for the Lily dolls they have out there. Because the Charlie doll has the belt, so she's going to take the belt off the ripped head of Charlie and put it on Lily, and it's not going to hurt Charlotte whatsoever because what is she on, number 13, I believe?
Like
number 13 reign. They're going to give her 17, and then after 17, I believe once Charlotte's contract's up, she's going to head over to where her husband is, or her future husband. I don't think her and Andrade are married yet, but I definitely think she's going to be maybe she won't be AEW bound because of the whole entire, the dad thing that's going on right now. People may not want to touch that last name, so I think she's pretty much.
Yeah, I still think she'll go there eventually.
Eventually, once she gets married, they'll probably call her, I know her real name is Ashley, they'll probably call her Ashley Andrade Idol or whatever his name is, and they'll try to be a power couple over there against Cody and the returning Brandy and all that type of stuff. But I do believe, Charlotte is going to go over there because that's where her husband is, and what else is she going to do in WWE? Yeah, she's going to beat her father's record and wrestle Alexa Bliss over and over again. I say Alexa's definitely going to win, probably using a loaded Lily to knock her out.
Well, I've been very vocal. I hate Lily. I want them to. I think I view Lily almost as bad as I view Rocco from the old Road Warriors. Alexa's got so much talent.
Right, the whole entire and I think she's great as a heel, but I look at Lily as George Steele's mine doll. Yeah, remember?
Okay,
that's which it was a face. But yeah, Rocco. Rocco. Wow. Yeah, but the whole Lily thing. Excuse me. I'm just glad they're kind of dropping the whole entire Alexa hypnotizing people.
Well, that makes no sense either because it only happens on occasion. They had her in a three-way match a few weeks ago, and she didn't use it. But then she used it at certain times. Like if she's got the power,
the only time I want to see hypnotism used in a match is that Henry Winkler movie, The One and Only. That's the only time I want to see it. Which starred a young Roddy Piper as the German guy he kept on beating. So great movie. If anybody out there wants to see a really funny movie, Henry Winkler as a wrestler in The One and Only. But but still, I think Alexa's going to win it, then Charlotte's going to win it back, and it's just going to be traded back and forth until Charlotte beats the record.
I do agree with you. I originally was thinking Charlotte, but then the more I thought about it, and maybe with the father whose name we shall not mention, I guess, with the Ric Flair stuff going on.
Flair.
I think maybe it's time that they might pull it off her just to kind of get her a little bit out of the spotlight. Time to give Alexa a shot with the title and see what she can do with it.
But I think then I think by Survivor Series, Charlotte will win it back. And then she'll win it back until the inevitable Charlotte Becky match is going to happen once Becky's done her program.
WrestleMania, perhaps, maybe.
Perhaps. I think they're going to go for a whole entire new, unless Ronda Rousey, after she gives birth, I don't think she'll be ready for Mania or something like that. But I think that's exactly where they're going, is they're two hottest prospects right now. So, but but still, Alexa, I think Alexa's going to win it.
Well, since you brought up Becky Lynch, let's talk about that one. SmackDown Women's Championship champ Becky Lynch against challenger, former champ Bianca Belair.
Hopefully the EST can last a lot longer than 26 seconds, which I think is kind of bogus. I think it's kind of bogus that they did her like that. I mean, they didn't have to have that match. I mean, Bianca could have wrestled Carmella, beat her, and then have Becky come back and challenge her, and then you could have had a whole entire build-up to this match. Okay, no, that's my belt I never lost. Not just come there, punch her in the mouth and beat her. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not the biggest Belair fan in the world. I like the way she, I'm indifferent. I mean, she's great and all, but she's not like must-see TV for me. But I definitely think, especially with all the new copyrights they're coming up with, Becky 2-belt Becks or big-time Becks or something like that they're coming up with, there's no way in hell she's going to lose. I think it's totally going to bury Bianca Belair, who probably will end up back at NXT doing something over there, because Becky's going to run the joint, all right? They want to make her the number one bad girl in the whole entire SmackDown, the rival even Roman Reigns. So, but Becky, but in this match, I'm thinking now more so. I think it's going to be a double DQ and something like this to stretch Survivor Series. I don't think there's going to be a winner in this one, because if Becky beats Bianca, then what? Or she beat her twice, then you're going to have the rubber match in Survivor Series. Why? So I think maybe Survivor. Well, the Survivor Series, don't they do champion versus champion? So maybe, they do. It'll be Becky versus Alexa anyway, since they do the whole champion thing. But for some reason, I don't think there's going to be a winner in this one, because I don't think they're ready to snuff out Bianca just yet, which will lead her on to being with her husband and everything like that. Maybe she'll go heelish and whatnot like that. But I think it's going to be a schmaz finish. I don't think there's going to be a winner.
So you're calling either double DQ or count out or something along those.
It's gonna be a double something. I don't know if it's gonna be a double DQ or a double count. Now maybe a double count out. They could fight all over the place, and then when they have a return match, they could do like a no holds barred falls count anywhere. I don't know if there's a stipulation for this one, but if Bianca loses this one, sell your stock in her now, because then she's never gonna get back to where she was before. It's like how Naomi was. I mean, like how hot she was, and then she lost the belt, and now you rarely hear from her. So, but I do think it's gonna be a double something on this one.
Well, I'm going with, and I'm a huge Becky Lynch fan. I throw that out there with no apologies. I think Becky, but I don't like what happened in the last pay-per-view, and I think it did nothing for either one of them. For Becky to come back and knock her out with one punch it would have been better for her just to pummel her for a whole match and have Bianca just take the beating. At least that would have shown she was tough, and that would have shown that Becky could hand out a beating. I mean, that's what might happen this one, though.
But when Becky came out, the crowd, what was it, like whatever, thousands of people were just all the way up here when Becky came out. But then when she knocked out Bianca, they were all the way down here. It's like, why would you do something like that in 26 seconds? Make it a 26-minute match and then maybe have Becky go over. Why the heck would you do something like that? They're both capable enough, unless Becky really isn't in ring shape to really do much since she had her baby, anything like that.
You could have carried it more than 26 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Give Belair a little bit more credit than that. So I think they did her dirty, but like I said, I think it's a double something.
Well, I'm going with Becky, and I don't think it's going to hurt Bianca, because I think it's going to be a really good match. I think it's going to be a slugfest, and I think it'll show that Bianca's tough and can handle it, but just not quite there yet. I don't know where it goes after that. I mean, you're right. It's champion versus champion, so I'm not sure where Bianca goes after that. But she's not going to be gone for long. She'll be back.
She'll be on the 5-on-5 Raw versus SmackDown women versus the other women that have nothing to do, and then that's what unfortunately is going to happen. We've been watching this way too long. We kind of figure all that stuff out. But.
Well, that's it for the 6 matches. Any other women's wrestling topics you want to throw out there, my friend?
You look at the women's roster, especially on SmackDown, who is glaringly missing from all this, who made her triumphant return only to be a loser at every single turn, is Zelina Vega. Okay? You had such an unbelievable program, an unbelievable angle you could have done with her. And what do you have her do? You have her lose every single stinking match. And then you fire her husband, who's now stupidly fire her husband because you guys, they couldn't figure out the whole contract situation. And now you see what he's doing on the other channel. Now she's got to be looking, first off, what's with the red Tatanka hair? Okay, I mean, I don't know if they explain that. Okay, that looks very silly. But I think they did Zelina Vega so dirty. They had such a good angle. But I guess Brother Love, doesn't really care about all angles and stuff like that. They just want to spoon feed us whatever they think. And don't get me wrong, I really don't care for the other guys. I really don't care for any of these guys. Okay, it's just. But Zelina Vega had so much potential. What they could have done with an angle with her. Unbelievable. It just mind boggles that they had this big chance to do something really decent for her, but have her lose. Oh, it's all about the story. There's no story. She could have came back and said, hey, you guys did this to me, did this to me, did this to me, did this. You stopped me from I am out for every single one of you. And they would have had the whole entire audience behind her. And what do they do? Right down the porcelain throne. That's where she ended up.
And I hate to be the guys that just rag on WWE, because they are doing some good stuff, and it's not like that. We like it enough to watch it, but that's, you make a great point about her, but yet they waste time with and another against Doudrop. but they waste time with that stupid angle with Eva Marie. Nobody gives a crap about Eva Marie,
No.
especially in that angle. You knew where that was going right from the beginning.
You know, she went from Piper Nevin or Nevin, who did the whole entire Mae Young Classic and all that stuff, who did really well and something like that, who I think could be a very good role model for don't look like Eva. All right.
Exactly.
She's a bigger woman. I think just like how Nia Jax, and of course Nia Jax is now out with a bad elbow, which is probably a good thing, because if her cousin wasn't The Rock, she would have been fired a long time ago. She's like one of the worst people ever. I think Doudrop, Piper, or whatever, they could change her name to something else, could have taken that position to have a whole audience be behind her for the body image she has to be positive. That a positive body image like that means anybody could get into the wrestling ring. But no, they call her Doudrop, which makes, you know what a Doudrop is? Skinny on top, big on the bottom.
Right.
Okay. That right there is the biggest insult.
Exactly.
I'm sure Bruce Pritchard is back there going, oh, that's a good idea, Vince. And Vince is, oh, that's some good crap right there. You know,
giggling away.
Yeah, they could have done so much better with Piper Nevin to making her Doudrop, which is just another. And then have another match on Raw where she rolls over Eva Marie. What is that? What is that telling you? I mean, this whole evolution thing is you're pushing that, but she's losing. Make her a match.
That's the end of it.
Hopefully it's the end of it. But you know we're gonna probably have something on the pay-per-view. It's only 6 matches. You have some extra things you need to fill in. She's probably going to get on the microphone and go blah, blah, blah. And Doudrop's going to give her another splash and splatter on the mat and that's it. So, but yeah, that's what's bothering me with WWE and the women's division is they totally are misusing Zelina Vega. They don't need to make her the champ, but make her the fighter. Excuse me, the fighter of everything that's good. And then Doudrop, just let that poor woman go for a little bit. Send her the NXT, who's leaps and bounds better than anything that we're seeing and stuff like that. But yeah, Zelina Vega, sorry, girl, that you came back for this.
Yeah, I mean, it's so frustrating because as we've talked on the previous pinfalls, obviously we like women's wrestling. That's why we're doing it. But the WWE has so much talent on the women's side of the roster. I've never seen it like this before. Even in the days of Trish Stratus and Lita, they were awesome. There's no doubt. Hall of Fame legends. But the depth on the roster of the women's right now is greater than I've ever seen it. Yet they're squandering it. Like we said, Bianca Belair loses in 26 seconds. Doudrop, I don't know what they're doing with her. They push Eva Marie in this evolution and nobody wants it. Zelina Vega, what is she doing?
Right.
It's like, what are you doing with this? You have so much talent, so much potential. Alexa Bliss. So let's give her a doll and some possible, powers. Let her just be a badass. Let her let her show her skills.
Especially Alexa Bliss, or what's her real name, Lexi something or other. The journey she had with her eating disorders and stuff like that. I mean, that could be a positive thing for people. And that whole entire be a star and everything that they do. I mean, you don't want to exploit something like that, but they could use stuff like that to get these little girls who are watching this, who want to buy their T-shirts and buy their little action figures, give them something to aspire to. But no, let's go ahead and give her a buck-toothed doll or whatever it is, and have her be crazy and wacko, and then you have Doudrop and totally humiliating her I mean, I feel sorry for that woman. I mean, I know she just got married and everything, and she's capable, because I've seen her in the tournament and everything like that. But just Zelina, you look at it, I'm just like, if you only would have held on a little bit longer when your husband got canned, you could have gone to the other guys and totally made their women's roster something. Of course, their women's roster is next to nothing really right now. So, but yeah, it's just sad. It just makes you think that why they do stuff like this, and why does Vince want to go ahead and promote the women's revolution and evolution, they called it, and all that stuff, and just go, okay, we're going to give you this, maybe just because that the WrestleMania main event with Becky and Ronda and Charlotte really wasn't the greatest. I mean, I think as soon as that kind of crap the bed, you can just see that the women's thing is going down just a little bit, unfortunately. So
But you know, instead of working on it and making it better, they're kind of going like to their old credit. Like when they had that stupid storyline with Mickey James, calling her Piggy James.
That was
dynamite looking woman. You know,
if they think she's the F word, and I know you can't say fat. If they think Mickey James was fat, there was not even. I wish I was that fat. Okay. Yeah. She was muscular, perfect, and everything like that. For them to go ahead and have, and I know Michelle McCool and Layla hated doing it, but you know, you get paid to do what you get paid to do, and everything like that. And yeah, money this, money that, but it's just like. I don't know what I don't know who they have doing the women's booking. I don't think Finley does it anymore. I don't know if I know he was training people a long time ago, but they definitely need somebody out there who could take the women's division and cultivate that into. I heard they wanted to do a whole entire women's show. Whatever happened to something like that? I mean, honestly, let's talk about what happened to Asuka. What happened to Toni Storm? What happened, you know, to Bayley? I don't know if Bayley's hurt or anything like that,
but yeah,
is she hurt?
Where's Sasha?
You know, where's Sasha? Well, maybe Sasha's laying on the floor crying because she had to lose the tag titles. But you know, I mean, she's. I think she'll be the next one to jump. I mean, she'll be the next one to jump. Claiming, I'm sorry, Sasha's been given a lot, but she's the one who's going to go on the other show and go. They've never given me anything. I'm not a real big Sasha fan, just because of her attitude and everything like that. But still, she puts on great matches. Where's she at?
Right.
You know. They're sitting at catering. Oh, we have nothing for you. I mean, really, you can't come up with something for these women who are,
you know,
silly. Eva Marie doing
drop.
Eva Marie
drop, but yeah,
Eva Marie, who's without a doubt, you know, just makes everybody just cringe when she's out there. I mean, just the worst wrestler. I don't even say the worst entertainer out there.
I was gonna say she's not a good wrestler. She's not good on the mic.
No.
What does she bring to the table?
Eva Marie just reminds you of the throwbacks of the OTNA shows, you know, when they had just anybody and anybody like a Lacey Von Erich or something like that who couldn't tie her boots. I mean, Eva has okay. How much money do you think WWE's making on somebody like Eva? Nothing.
Exactly.
When they can have somebody like Doudrop as a positive influence under a different name, who would sell T-shirts? Who would sell action?
Nobody's buying an Eva Marie T-shirt.
Exactly.
But Doudrop would sell.
You know, Zelina Vega right there. I think she could be the number one. I think she could be the women's face of the WWE. Because of what happened to her, because they fired her for her, you know, her extracurricular whatever OnlyFans, and I know she was a naked, her other stuff like that. Okay, she should be the face of the place, and I really think they dropped the ball on her, and hopefully she didn't sign too long of a contract so she could get the hell out of there. It's really sad, man. It's really sad what they're doing. So,
it is. Yeah. Like I said, because there's so much potential. It's so frustrating, but
I guess that's the reason why they have the job, and we're sitting here doing a podcast, video chat about it. You know, exactly. You keep on doing it, Bruce Pritchard. Yeah, whatever, dude.
Gives us something to talk about, buddy. Well, that's all we had for the pay-per-view. Before we wrap this up, though, tell everybody where they can find you, what you want to tell. This is your time to just put Joey Roth out there.
Oh, put Joey Roth out there. Like, I don't do enough of that on social media under the Main Event Villain on Facebook. Just look for Joey Roth. This October 2nd, I'm going to be at the Road to Wrestle Rage at Rumpos in Twin Lakes, Wisconsin for POW Entertainment. And then November 6th is our WrestleMania. It's Wrestle Rage, man. And I'm not sure exactly what we're going to be doing, but you can get the new Joey Roth hat. You're going to get the new Simbos t-shirt, which is Joey Roth and Roxy Hart, my guys, BMI. We are ready to take apart Jimmy Blaze and Eric the hippie. And, you know, it's going to be just a fun time beating up those dinosaurs again. See, there's a reason all the Jurassic Park movies suck after a while because people are sick and tired of seeing dinosaurs. So people are going to get sick and tired of seeing these guys. And so we're going to go ahead and rip them apart. And then, you know, that's October 3rd. Then October 4th, I believe it's October 2nd, then October 3rd, we have Midwest Reunion in Lake Zurich, Illinois, which is going to be great with the whole entire Midwest wrestlers. And Joy and Roxy will be there and everything like that. But Power Entertainment, Revolution, Jimmy Blaze, Eric Freedom, BMI, Jamie Race, and Breathtaking Mike Ido, and myself and Roxy. We're coming to get you. We're coming to end this feud, and we're going to move on to bigger and better things and get the tag titles back then.
Well, you see, I'm wearing the Joey Roth shirt. It's the Joey Roth Classic because I'm.
And I got my Johngy shirt right here, which I was wearing Wizard World coming up. Wizard World Chicago. I think me and John got some surprises for a lot of people over there, and I'm looking forward to that. And I understand you're going to New York.
Going to New York, doing a little Comic-Con. Going to set up some interviews for Wizard World and C2E2, which is in December. Joey Roth will be joining the Johngy's Beat team again for that. We're going to do some fun interviews. We got some good stuff coming up, man.
I can't wait. And listen to the Joey Roth Show podcast, which I definitely got to have you on. And once I have enough, time to start doing it, and then I'm working on doing a watch along with videos and stuff like that. I'm just trying to figure out how to do all that on the computer. So I got that going. But it's going to be a good winter, fall and winter for Joey Roth and Johngy and everybody else. And I just can't wait for everybody and Roxy Hart, who's sitting over here giving me who's waving right now, and the cat who's sitting right here, and Pete who's sitting over there, and everything like that. So yeah, it's gonna be nothing but fun. But I had fun doing this. I love talking wrestling and doing all these kind of predictions and everything.
Well, I appreciate your time. You can get back to your lovely bride. Congratulations again.
We're married here, but yes, thank you very much.
And you guys have a great night. Watch WWE Extreme Rules on Sunday, and we'll see how we do. We have a few differences. We'll see who ends up the top man.
History has told us anything, it's going to be me.
Well, I beg to differ, my friend, but we shall see. Joey, man, thank you for your time, buddy, and we'll catch you soon.